But I must say this, the most exciting fighter that's active and fighting in boxing right now is Gervonta Tank Davis.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focusing on. He already did what he had to do, bro.
For sure. I'm telling you, this version of Tank is gonna be dangerous, bro. If you know about boxing, come on, it is Gervonta Davis, bro.
Legendary boxer Floyd Mayweather recently shared his thoughts on the upcoming rematch between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. Floyd believes Lamont doesn't have what it takes to beat Gervonta this time. He said Gervonta's speed, power, and smart moves in the ring make him a very tough opponent. According to Floyd, Lamont's style and skills are not enough to deal with that. Unless Lamont changes his strategy in a big way, Floyd thinks Gervonta will stay on top and win again.
Loss versus Gervonta Davis may get overturned. It's not going to happen. Apparently, they said that PBC, the production went out, so they couldn't do a replay, and they have replay in New York, and that's why they're not going to overturn this. Boxing never goes back to overturn anything. They don't investigate any corruption as long as they money good. You know, they didn't go back and overturn. Ryan Garcia cheated. They didn't overturn that to a loss. They did a no contest. It should have been a loss. He had a competitive advantage. When Margarito cheated Miguel Cotto, they didn't go back and open up an investigation. Manny Pacquiao wanted them to investigate and rescore the Jeff Horn fight. People forget that. People screaming corruption there, so they're not going to overturn this. Lamont Roach don't have a major promoter behind him. People will get paid off, and this will go away, and they're going to uphold the win, even though they blatantly broke the rules on 2 separate occasions. The knee should have been counted and wiping the face. So boxing has always been corrupt. It's always been controlled by money. It's one of the inorganic, if that's a word, sports of all time.
This is a secret Lamont Roach knows.
From the start of his career, Gervonta Davis had a complicated relationship with Floyd Mayweather. It began as a mentorship, but over time, Floyd seemed to take more control. Many people noticed that Floyd often made decisions for Davis and shaped how he looked in public. Instead of helping Davis build his own name, it felt like Floyd was trying to make Davis more like him, while still staying in control from behind the scenes.
Adrian had the weigh-in. So from his weigh-in, they meet us at the food spot. So from there, we go to the gym. So remind you, they already got this set up. Floyd already got it set up. He already posted on Instagram. It probably was like 100 people in there, and he turned the heat up. That's what Floyd do. He turned the heat up in the gym while you're in there. So he turned the heat up. Boom. We spar, but while we sparring, Floyd is in the ring. Like every time I'm punching, Floyd like grab my hand, like yank it back, whereas though I can't even punch Devin. So it was times that like I catch Devin, boom, or I'm about to swing and Floyd like yank my hand back, or he'll push me to the ropes. Like he was actually like touching me while we was sparring. Like
why?
Like, he was, cause it was like Devin was his guy, cause Devin was training at his gym at the time. So, and he was training with his father. So, Devin was on. I mean, Floyd was on Devin's side.
Sounds
so
like
that's
a conspiracy to me.
Yeah, but later down the line, probably about like a couple months. No, this was recently. Not recently, but probably like 2 years ago. I asked Devin to like come to like spar me. And he was like, "No, I ain't no sparring partner." I had somebody hit him up that was close to him.
Davis has talked about the problems he faced while training under Floyd Mayweather, especially during sparring sessions with Devin Haney. In one session, when Davis started doing well against Haney, Mayweather suddenly stopped the fight, not letting Davis keep his momentum. People watching felt like Haney was getting special treatment, and Davis wasn't given a fair chance to show what he could do. These kinds of interruptions happened more than once, and it made Davis feel like he was being held back by the same person who was supposed to help him grow.
Floyd outdoing him. He always been like that. You know what I mean? So I gotta focus on what I'm focused on. He already did what he had to do, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Me, if I did what I like what he did in the sport, I ain't gonna lie, I'd be the same way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't follow him for like stand to himself and things like that. You know what I mean? But it's also a part of me type thing. Like come back and help too. You know what I mean? So it's much love to the whole Mayweather promotion. You know what I mean? Ain't no bad blood type shit. And a lot of people think like when I be tweeting on Instagram, I be mad. I just be talking.
At first, Davis saw his relationship with Floyd Mayweather as a true mentorship. But over time, he started to feel it was more about control than support. Floyd, known for his smart business decisions, seemed to make choices that mostly benefited himself. From picking Davis's opponents to handling his media image, Floyd stayed in charge of Davis's career path. As Davis got older and more experienced, he began to see this clearly and felt frustrated and unsure about Floyd's intentions. This led to distance between them, as Davis wanted more control over his own career.
First of all, Floyd don't never want to see no one like a fighter do better than them. How the say Terrence Crawford should fight? Finna be there. That don't make no fucking sense. He don't never want to see nobody be better than him. I'm telling you.
You was next in line. This was you next in line.
Is there like a
last question, guys?
is there like a love-hate for Floyd though? Like you love the fighter?
Yeah, I love the fighter. Like I ain't gonna lie, if he was like chill, like he'll be the smoothest. But he's not. You know what I mean? He's a great fighter. And my bad. And he cause I don't want to say like he's just a scumbag, but it's like he's a great fighter, and sometimes he can be good, but it's like it's always I'm this.
Floyd Mayweather had doubts about Gervonta Davis's true power, but recent training videos have changed his view. The clips show Tank doing intense workouts and throwing powerful punches, which clearly surprised Floyd. Seeing how focused and strong Davis looks now, Floyd has started to rethink his earlier doubts and admit that Tank is growing as a fighter and is ready to perform at a top level.
When is Gervonta Davis going to go somewhere in the pound for pound? Anui deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. Do Terrence Crawford deserve to be in the pound for pound? Absolutely. But what about Gervonta Tank Davis? He deserved to be somewhere also in the pound for pound.
Why don't they give him that credit?
Because he was affiliated with me.
Many people think Davis didn't perform well against Lamont Roach, not because of Roach's skills, but because of his own personal struggles. Davis admitted he was dealing with mental and physical issues, and even thought about taking a break or getting therapy. Still, he chose to fight, even though he wasn't at his best. Now, with the rematch coming up, Davis has a chance to show what he's really capable of. If he's fully ready this time, fans believe he'll give a much stronger and more powerful performance.
He wants to do therapy, he wants to do real estate. They want to say he wasn't all in because him and Roach are friends, and he's going to be focused for the second fight. A lot of excuses. They want to say it's because of the braids, the oil getting in his eye, whatever. This is what really happened. And I just now came to this conclusion because I've been making some other videos for Patreon, but Lamont Roach posted a video recently on
In the first fight, Davis showed weakness in his defense and stamina, which Roach took advantage of. Now, the rematch is a big moment for Davis to prove if that poor performance was just a bad day or a sign he's slipping. With people questioning his power and sharpness, this fight is about more than just winning. It's about proving he's still at the top. The pressure is high, as Davis needs to show he's still a strong force in boxing. His split from Mayweather Promotions wasn't smooth. It was loud and messy, with public arguments, indirect comments, and fights over control. Davis wanted more freedom and honesty, but Floyd didn't seem willing to give it. This break made it clear to fans that their relationship had been troubled for a long time before it ended.
Floyd left Bob Arum. It's good for them to do it and become their own boss. And then if another guy does it, it's not good for the sport. He's disloyal. And what's wrong with Tank saying he want to be his own boss? And honestly, I've been there. The relationship between them two is very toxic. It's a toxic relationship. It's up and down and up and down. And I'm not going to elaborate to everything that I know, but it's a very toxic relationship. And that's why when I tweet stuff, I don't tweet often, but when I tweet, I may fire off 50 tweets in the day. And that's why when I tweeted certain things about the relationship, Tank retweeted it because he knows. Like, I'm not just gonna say what it is. It's a very toxic relationship. It's back and forth, and I think it will serve him best to go and be his own boss.
Many experts believe that the excitement around Roach's performance in the first fight is a bit overblown. They point out that Tank Davis went down because grease got in his eyes, not because Roach landed a knockout punch. This means Roach's win wasn't as clear or strong as some people think. Now, Tank is coming back stronger and more focused, warning fans that this new version of him is more dangerous than ever. He's ready to prove that he's still a serious threat in the ring and shouldn't be underestimated.
People keep saying like Lamont dang near like beat Tank like clean, like basically like we seen it, like yeah, he did Tank that one, but like Tank was limping out the ring. Bro, he didn't even get over on Tank for real. Y'all only saying that because Tank took the knee. And when Tank took the knee, it wasn't how like Ryan Garcia was when he took the knee once Tank went to his body. It was like, dang, like I'm taking him and get right back up. Can you do that in boxing? No. But y'all can't say that basically that, oh yeah, he won because of the knee. That shows that people just want to see Tank lose, bruh. Cause y'all betting y'all money on basically Tank losing because of that knee. Yes, it was a good fight. Yes, I'm not gonna lie. Lamont was defending himself like he's skilled. But bro, he ain't walk all over Tank. Tank, bro, if y'all go back and watch the highlights, I just watched the highlights last night. Them last couple of rounds, bro, Lamont was balled up. Tank was literally, he was trying, like you could tell Tank was like, dang, I waited too long. So he was trying to throw some stuff like to make sure he get that one blow, but it didn't work. So that's why they doing that rematch so they could start over from scratch, round 1 to round 12. We gonna start over clean and let's see what's going on now. Now y'all want to be saying, oh no, man, I ain't gonna lie. At the end of the day, the first fight is what matters. No, it don't. Tank was, look, he real enough to say, hey, bro, let's do a rematch. Now, if he ain't do a rematch, it's like, oh, yeah, something going on. Nah, hush, hush. Hey, Calvin, step to the side. Let me get somebody else right now. I'm going to be hush. Let me get back in the gym and put my hat on.
Surprisingly, even Tank Davis's critics and those who don't usually support him believe he will clearly win the rematch. Most people agree that Tank is now fully focused and motivated because this fight is very important for his legacy. Unlike before, he's not distracted by other fights and is completely focused on Roach. Many believe this strong focus will help him take back control of his career. After some questionable referee calls in the first fight, fans and experts are also asking for a fair and neutral referee this time. The last referee, Steve Willis, was accused of favoring Davis, which raised concerns about fairness. Roach's team has asked that Willis not return, hoping the rematch will be judged fairly based only on the fighter's real skills and performance.
You know, obviously the part with the grease in the eye, that took on a life of its own, you know what I'm saying? That was a headline in the fight. One is, what did you think when he said that initially, just like the grease in the eye? But two is like, when you was in the fight, was there any point that you saw that? Like, did you see like him kind of messing with his eye, or did you have any indication that that was something that was bothering him?
No, see, and that's the thing. If you look at the whole fight, he was never bothering his eyes before
you jabbed him.
Before I jabbed him. Even that right hand that, like, you know what I'm saying, that kind of landed, he kind of rolled with it. But after that, you could see him wipe his eye. And then right after I hit him with the jab, you can see him wipe his other eye. So it's like it was corresponding to which hand that I punched him with and exactly which eye. So it's like crazy for him to say it's grease in my eye. And I think even when he say that, you could see me, because I'm right beside him, you can see me like, nigga, what you talking about? So, right.
But you say you don't think he willing though.
Yeah, whatever. See, but who cares? Like, sweat gonna get in your eye, blood gonna get in your eye.
Yeah, it don't matter.
Spit fucking around and get in your eye. You know what I'm saying? But it's not like you can be like, all right, time out, ref. Hold on,
Take
ref.
no time out.
You can't do that.
Right. Would you be cool with Steve Willis doing the next fight?
Hell no.
He can't do the next fight.
No, he can't do the next fight.
Right.
No.
Pops, it's a no?
Hell no.
Yeah, fuck that nigga.
Yeah.
You know how many
Coach Ben on him, man. He lucky he ain't running Coach Ben after that fight.
But look how many times he fucked the fight up though. Right. The knee, him going to the corner to get assistance, like who knows? Not saying that they did any cheating shit or nothing like that. But like he wiped his face with a towel. You can't do that.
Right.
You can't do none of that. That's a disqualification. You turned your back on the ref after you took a knee. Usually the ref will be like, all right, he don't want to fight no more. Fight's off.
Some well-known boxing figures, like Gary Russell Jr., don't agree with the idea that Roach clearly won the first fight. Russell says that while Roach kept up with Tank Davis, he didn't do enough to clearly beat him. In his view, if someone wants to take the title from a champion like Davis, they need to clearly dominate the fight, and Roach didn't do that.
100% correct. Personally, I had Gervonta Davis up a round, because whenever you have rounds where nobody's doing anything, I'm not just going to do what most people do, and especially people that don't like Gervonta Davis, which is just give the round to the other guy because Gervonta Davis didn't manage to knock him out that round. Okay, so this is Gary Russell Jr. clearly saying, man, no, I don't think Lamont Roach won that fight. You also had Al Bernstein, and Al Bernstein, I'm telling you, is a very, very straight, fair guy who I don't know if he was on that call, but he used to work with Showtime. I don't know if he was on there. I don't recall if I heard him. I think it was Rolly Ronaldo that was calling it. But Al Bernstein, who was a very, very objective person, said, hey, look, no. Sorry to break it to you, but Gervonta Davis won that fight. Yeah, Lamont Roach put up a really good fight, but Lamont Roach was not dynamic. He did not do anything to really separate himself from Gervonta Davis. He just kept it equal. He just tried to keep it even the entire fight.
Jeff Mayweather shared his thoughts on Gervonta Davis's first fight against Lamont Roach, pointing out that Davis didn't perform at his best. He noticed that Roach kept a faster pace, landed more punches, and controlled the flow of the fight, which pushed Davis back and made him look less dominant than usual. Jeff was surprised because Davis is normally known for his power and accuracy, but in that fight, he didn't seem like himself. Jeff suggested that Roach's higher activity might have been enough to deserve the win. His view adds to the ongoing debate about whether the judges got the result right, making the rematch a big chance for Davis to show his true strength again.
It's the worst decision I think I might have ever seen. I don't know how that's not a knockdown. But anyway, thoughts on the overall fight first, Jeff?
I think that it was a good fight on both sides, and I do think that Roach actually won the fight. I thought he outworked Tank. I thought that he threw more punches than Tank. It seemed like Tank was fighting like he always do. It just seemed like he was just waiting for him to figure out whoever was in front of him like he always do, and then go to work. But this time when he went to work, the guy went to work back. So, I mean, he had somebody that was firing back at him. It's the same way.
Yeah. I think the commentators and most of us at home thought, kind of the same thing. You thought Roach would bank some of those early rounds to prepare for the onslaught later. And when it didn't really happen, it was pretty even. We said, well, this is going to be a one-sided fight. But yeah, it never happened. And Roach, through the latter half of the fight actually seemed to do better than the first half.
I thought he did good pretty much all the way through the fight. I mean, there was a few rounds where he didn't do that well, but I mean, I thought he won the fight clearly. I mean, I didn't see Gervonta really the Gervonta that I know. I mean, I'm a big Gervonta fan, but I didn't see none of the Gervonta that I'm used to seeing.
Sauce Walker believes Lamont Roach's win over Davis in their first fight wasn't just close, it clearly showed that Roach was the better boxer. He says Roach's smart tactics and calm approach during the fight exposed weak points in Davis's defense and fitness. Even if the judges didn't fully show it in their scores, Sauce believes that true boxing experts could see that Roach outperformed Davis in the ring.
I think that they should have counted that point against him. Do you think Lamont Roach won, or do you think it wasn't enough?
It could be considered a rightful draw, but I also lean towards that Lamont Roach won that fight. I believe he won the fight simply because he outclassed the champ. In boxing, you have to do two things to beat the champ. You either got to knock out the champ or completely outclass the champ. But you have to beat the champ. You're not going to just get the win because you survived or you put up a good fight. Bro lost that fight. Facts. Like when you really, really know boxing and know boxing for what it really, really is, Tank lost that fight. No matter how much people emotions and feelings are attached to it, because Tank is a hero of the hood. The ghetto loved Tank, Gervonta Davis has been crowned king. My personal opinion, I don't think he should take the rematch, and I think he's already done what you just said. I think off of what he's already accomplished with the draw, he's already in a life-changing situation to where he could change every person around his life forever. He's now what's called a prize fighter, guaranteed. He's now what's also called a A-side fighter right now. But if he does what I like to call the Deontay Wilder and chase the legacy of getting the win, because you thinking from more of 100% on the boxing aspect than the business aspect, which Gervonta Davis has clearly showed everybody. The larger amount of his success is from the business module of the way he does boxing that was being gifted to him through Mayweather and Mayweather Promotions and PBC. But at the end of the day, so what? That's what he's supposed to do. I'm not mad at Gervonta Davis for that.
What do you think about Davis's preparation for the rematch? Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, and stay informed. Stay tuned for more updates, and let's keep our news accurate.